Hey guys, what's up? Blaine Perry here with another EXT deck profile. This is my second place preliminaries deck profile. Let's get started off. So the leader is Demigra. On his base side, when he attacks, you mill 3 cards, and if they're all black, you draw 1. Hence why the deck is fully black. Then Standard Awakening of untap 2 energies. Then on his flip side, probably the most important part of the deck, which is his Wormhole ability, which allows you to Overwhelm twice, or Dark Overwhelm twice, or one of each. Any combination of them per turn. Then when he attacks, he draws 1 card. And another important part of the deck basis is his Activate Main, which is choose up to 3 black cards in your warp and place them in your drop area, allowing to feed your mill more Overwhelm more consistently. Then if we move over to the deck, I run 4 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan, which is your awakening of the deck, allowing you to swing, take a life and go up to 15k. His secondary ability isn't quite as relevant in the meta really as it once was, which is forcing your opponent to drop 2 cards from their hand if they play a battle card with 15k power or less, using a non-keyword skill. Still has its purposes in the meta, especially with Pans floating around still using Chain Zeno. Can be powerful to prevent that. The next lineup on there is Dende. I'll do these a lot as a bulk, because as you can see it's sort of like a mini engine package operating off Toki Toki. Which Toki Toki is another important part of the deck, allowing you a reshuffle off the Vegeta time regulators, which I'll get to in a minute. But Toki Toki pretty much allows you to play it out, put it on the top of your deck, search your deck for any 3k black card or less, and play it on the field. So obviously I run 2 time control Kuronoa to prevent them Shugeshes, probably the most important 3k card out there. And then 1 of each of the rest, so the Goku that stops players bouncing cards back to the hand, the Kami Global Unifier for the field pop. It's not something you need too much in this deck, but you know, if you can run it, why not? Dende to prevent energy ramp. Again, not too relevant unless you're coming across Gogeta Shenron, which has been floating about quite a bit, but I'd still debate whether you'd want to spend the 2 energy on it. Now, most important card of the deck and what makes this deck great is Vegeta Time Regulator. Expensive card at the moment. His ability is auto once per turn. When you play a battle card using Overwhelm, choose up to 2 black battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or less in your warp. Place them at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you place the battle card at the bottom of your deck, draw 1 card. Now these, once you start stacking them out on the field, if your opponent's not dealing with them, they'll notice they lose advantage very quick. There was a couple of games on Sunday where I managed to actually get 3 of them on the field. So at that point, if you're playing anything like a Time Patrol Trunks, you're effectively drawing 4 cards in a turn off 1 play. As well as that, you're shuffling back important cards into the bottom of your deck, like your super combos, anything that you've used before. There was matches against Janemba where I was cycling back my TNs, so just fully locking them out of untap consistently whilst putting cards back into my deck, preventing the shuffle. The mill, sorry. One of the big plays you can make with the Vegeta Time Regulator, which I like doing, is to play the Time Patrol Trunks, resolve the Time Patrol first, so look at my top 2. If it's an important card I want to get to my hand, I can then keep that at the top of my deck, then trigger Vegeta, put 2 cards at the bottom and draw that card I need, or if it's a card I don't need, you're able to put it at the bottom of your deck and then draw what you do need, possibly. The next card up is Deadly Defender Son Goku. Now with me only running 3 Power Burst in this deck as the negates, I found Deadly Defender to be quite important when I'm applying pressure, just to keep my opponent off killing me, forcing them to swing at the Deadly Defender instead. One of my more consistent plays throughout the day was turn 3 awaken, so I'd play a time regulator first, then awaken, then play my Deadly Defender Son Goku. So you'd be tapping out, but you're quite safe in this deck because you'll have 5 cards or more in your warp by then. So your super combos are turned on. Like I said, you don't need to worry too much about using your super combos in this build too leniently because you can recycle them back with your time regulator. Next card up is Relentless Destruction Mirror. So yeah, I didn't use these too much, but they did come in handy in some situations. It's overwhelm free. When you play it, your opponent has to discard a card. These are just great for extra pressure because you're going to play it. Your opponent discards a card. If you've got a time regulator on the field, you're going to draw a card from it. So that's already a 2-card difference you've created with your opponent. Then you swing him for 15k. Then your opponent's either forced to take that life to bring the balance back, or they're going to combo another 5k out, which then creates a 3-card difference between you and your opponent off it. And again, it's just another 15k pressure, as I'm sure most of you noticed from the screen. This deck relies heavily on just consistent 15k pressure. It's almost like Storm, but it's black. Just bringing that back. Time Patrol Trunks and Time Choice Supreme Kai. I'm going to do both of these together because I already just touched on the Time Patrol Trunks, but they're pretty much what you want to aim to play quite consistently, just to throw out 15k pressures. Look at your deck, filter your deck, choose what you want, put the rest at the bottom. Keep pushing your deck back up using the regulators, throwing it at the bottom, feeding it through. If important stuff starts going towards the bottom, that's when you'd be looking at playing a Toki Toki. Get that reshuffle going again. Moving on to the next bit is Burst Energy Super Saiyan Bardock. He's quite a good game-ending card. A lot of people forget he exists. He was never really used too much, but when you overwhelm him on your turn for a cost 1, he's a 30k beat stick. So if you've got your opponent down to 1 and you just want to put that final blow on, obviously this deck doesn't run, so you are doing a lot of 15k single swings, just pressuring your opponent, burning them down. That's where you'd play your Bardock for the game end and just go for that 30k swing and combo all your 5ks. Another great thing to do with the Bardock is if your opponent has played out the Goku striving to be the best, he can also attack active modes on the turn you overwhelm him, so you swing into that and your opponent's either going to be forced to invest to save against that, or your opponent's just going to let it die, and then that then allows you to swing and pressure in with your regulators for game, or the cards you've stole off your opponent, which I'll touch on further on the list. Next card up is Dimension Control Demigra. Again, it's just another way to bring balance between the difference in hand sizes or create a larger gap with your hand to your opponent. He's Overwhelm 4, cost 1. When this card attacks during the turn you played it with Overwhelm, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand, sends it to the warp. If that card was a battle card, combo with it in your combo area. So he's 20k to start with, then whatever your opponent throws at it, you get a combo onto it, meaning that they've got to waste more cards to prevent that, or odds are it's probably just a damage they're going to be forced to take at that point. Or if they've negated it, your auto still goes off, so your opponent has wasted 2 cards to prevent that 1 swing. And again, having time regulator on the board means that when you've overwhelmed it, you're getting a draw off it. Time Ruler Tower, next up, from the expansion packs way back when. It's never seen too much play. It's been increasing in play lately. Stealing's becoming fun. Sorry about that cough. So yeah, the auto of Time Ruler Tower is when you play this card using Overwhelm, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and then as you cost 2 or less, gain control of it. Now this is really good against things like blue decks, where if they've put Barghoses out just for the draw, you can steal their Barghos off them and then suddenly your energy locking them. It's great against skillless as well, because you can take them 20k beat sticks off your opponent. There's nothing more fun than killing your opponent with their own card. Next up, pretty similar to the previous tower, except it's Dark Overrealm, so she gets to stay on board. And she's 15k, and instead of cost 2s, she can steal cost 3s. So again, against skillless, you can now steal their 30k beat sticks. Slap them in the face with them if you want. Another thing I forgot to touch on with Time Ruler Tower and this tower is if a green BR Broly player has made the mistake of turn 1 playing their 1-drop, you can steal that and they don't get to go up the chain. So your opponent's wasted 1 energy, took 2 life, and then you take that off them, swing at the opponent with your tower, combo that Broly, and then they've got to start the chain again, and they've already took 2 life. So effectively, in that 1 swing, unless your opponent combos out, you've made your opponent lose 3 life off 1 swing. Up next, Dimension Banisher Fu. He's a 20k double strike for cost 1, Overrealm 5, gets to warp a card. So if your opponent's got any high pressures on the board, that's where you'd want to get rid of them with the Banisher Fu. And again, he's another possible game ender with the 20k double strike heavy combos in. Massey the Mysterious Warrior. It's great for clearing out them low costs on the board. If you're not getting to your stealer pieces against skillless, it can be great to just get rid of 2 bodies that they're swinging at you with. Again, he's a 20k double strike. It's good for popping high numbers of low combo power on the board. Up next is the super combo, which I think is the best super combo for the deck, Supreme Kai of Time World Protector, because by turn 2 at the latest she'll definitely be turned on and using for that 10k, because you should have 5 in the warp by then. There's no reason you shouldn't. And like I said, great to recycle them with the Vegeta Time Regulator. Keeps shuffling through them. Don't have to worry too much. I think in a lot of games I felt like I was using super combos at least 5 or 6 times. Especially with the Toki Tokis, shuffling your deck. And then finally, for the core of the deck, you have Power Burst. I don't think I'd use them too much, to be honest, because majority of the time I found myself tapping out because you're running a lot of 5k combo pieces. There's only, could be wrong here, just double check, yeah, there is only 4 10k, cost 1 10k's in the deck. So there was no reason to really keep energy open unless I did have a Power Burst in hand. But again, like I said, I was more or less just putting a Deadly Defender out. So I don't really feel like you need the Power Burst. And you manage to build up your field so much later on in the game that your opponent's spending more time field controlling than they are pressuring your life. And you're putting so much pressure on them that they don't usually have enough combo power in hand to pressure your life. So moving on from the deck, I will go to the sideboard. Didn't spend too much time on the sideboard because I'll just tell you all now. If you think I'm waffling on here, I was only playtesting this deck for fun about a week before the event, and it wasn't until 3 in the morning on the day of the event I thought, do you know what, let's go with Demigra. So I built the sideboard in about 30 minutes, just stuck what I thought would be important for the prelim, what I thought of new people were running and what I thought I'd need. So starting off 3- Killy Zone, just because I know a lot of Height of Masteries have been floating around, and the Chilai Height of Mastery, the Broly, so that, and then there's Broly BR, so that means there's a lot of Cold Bloodlust running around. So they were mainly there for the purpose of siding in with the Harus though, just to make sure I can get that turn off consistently. Up next is 2 Heavenly Wizard Demigra. I'll cover them with the Bardox whilst I'm at it. the Bardock Fully Unleashed. Both of them were just put in the sideboard for the Broly BR chain. Just in case I didn't manage to steal with a Toa, it means I could force them up the chain and force the chain out. As well as if they start the chain again, I can just pop the chain out upwards with the Demigras to slow them down as much as possible, aggravate them. Up next is for Haru Haru, because when you're running an all black deck, why not run for Haru Haru? The other good purpose of this Haru Haru is that you can actually place up to 2 cards from the top of your deck in your drop area. Not a lot of people use that on it, but in this deck I do feel like it could benefit you. Up next is a one of Burst Energy Super Saiyan Bardock, just in case I want to up the consistency if I notice my opponent is running the 2-drop FR Goku. It's not too needed in this deck, but later on in the game you do want to start pressuring with the Vegeta Time Regulators, which are a cost 2 because they're just another 15k swing, and you can start comboing your 1-drop bullets onto them and create 20k pressure swings. So if your opponent's got the FR Goku out, it does prevent that pressure, so a Dust Bardock just to get rid of it can be good. And then 3 Tien Shinhan Returning Fire, which is for blue, is a 1-cost 15k swing. Again, like I said, a big part of this deck is just endless pressure towards your opponent, running it like Storm used to run, just creating them 15k swings where you can, and locking your opponent's energy out to stop their extensions as well as a bonus. And again, you can lose the TNs, filter them back into your deck, get to them again, and you can consistently pretty much place a TN each turn, really locking and slowing that opponent's deck down. And then yeah, I think that's it for the profile. Shout out to the rest of Team EXT. Nathan Mills got his invite as well on Sunday with me. And that gives 8 of us on the team now, I believe, at the time of this, with invites out of 13, which is great. Remember, check out EXT on Facebook for all your Dragon Ball single needs and box needs. Thanks again for watching, guys. I've been Blaine Perry. Any comments? Stick them in.